All right, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be covering one of my news trading strategies. This isn't the only one. However, this is the one we'll be going over for this teaching. And we actually called this trade live while price was moving with the entry, stop loss, and TP in the Discord group. So we're going to go over a little quick educational before that, and then we'll get into this example that we call live. So what are the four components of news trading? High time frame draw on liquidity. The news is going to be used, especially the very high impact ones like NFP, CPI, FOMC, to attack higher time frame liquidity pools, or they'll be trading away from a higher time frame key level. It's always going to be based off the higher time frame, especially with those very explosive news events. The second one, and this is specific to just this one strategy, I have many for news, but this one is the one I'm going to be focusing on, is the one candle double purge with the news or just before the news. And we'll go over that in a few examples. Third is institutional sponsorship, which I have taught in previous videos. And the fourth thing is you want to be shorting above the midnight opening price, New York time, or longing below or close to, very close to, or at the midnight opening price, New York time. The fifth is SMT with the red folder is a must-have. Now, this is with any news event, not just the very high impact ones. All news events, you want to see that crack in correlation at or just before the news event into your high time frame key level. Okay, so going into a quick recap of the double purge, and if you guys want a deeper look into this and different formations of this, you guys can find the YouTube video on my channel. It's titled Double Purge. But for this specific news trading strategy, we're going to be using one of the different types of double purges I've shared. And we're going to be focusing on the one candle double purge. So this is a bullish depiction of the double purge. You have one candle, one singular candle. We have the second candle taking the high of the first candle and closing within, must close within. Then the third candle takes the low and closes within into a key level. And then we have a bullish expansion, right? So the high first, close within, the low second, close within of one candle when bullish, and then we see this. This is the first formation of a bullish double purge. The second one is just where one candle takes the first candle's high, then the low, and closes within on both ends. Then we see a massive bullish expansion. Now, you want to see the second candle here or the first candle here either happen just prior to the news or to be the news candle. And this is when I filter whether I'm trading the actual news drop or I'm waiting for the news to pass and trading the next candle. So if this happens prior to the news, this is usually what I'm anticipating the news candle to do here. If this doesn't happen, then I'm anticipating this to be the news candle, and then I will trade post news here, right? So bearish example here, high time frame key premium PDA. The second candle takes the low of the first candle, closes within. Then the third candle takes the high of the first candle, closes within. Then we have a bearish expansion. One candle again here takes the low first, then the high when bearish, closes within, and then quick and fast volatile expansion here. Okay, so once again, you want this candle here to either be the news candle, then you trade post news, or if this happens prior to news, anticipate this to be the news candle. So here's an example on Euro USD, and you can see here we're trading from a range high to range low, as we always should be. Again, about ranges, previous videos on YouTube, you can look at them. And then we want to go over the four components of the news trading, right? So the first thing is a high time frame key level. So if we map the range we have here, dealing range, we have a premium key high time frame level defined by this bearish order block. Okay. And what do you notice here? Okay, so the next candle is the news candle. So what should we be anticipating here? Right, for those of you who are keen, you'll see we have this one candle here. We take the low. Do we close within here? Yes. Then we take the high of this first candle and we close within. So what do we anticipate for the news candle? And the next day is CPI. Big, massive displacement lower, and I actually executed on this trade, and the reason for the execution was based off this double purge theory. So here we have an hourly chart, and let's keep in mind institutional sponsorship as well, because that was one of the 4 components of the news trading. So the first one was the high time frame key level. We have that right here. We have the double purge. Then we want to see institutional sponsorship defined by SMT and displacement away from our key level. So we have SMT here, forgot to annotate it. And then we have the displacement here. The fourth thing, right? We want to see that New York opening midnight price. We want to be shorting above, which is what I did here. And as you can see, here is the execution. And again, the reason why I took this was exactly this news trading strategy I'm sharing with you guys here. And now let's get into the example I mentioned in the beginning of the video, where I called a signal in the group live as price was moving, and a lot of students actually passed prop firms and got payouts with this call out. And this news, I did this with CPI, right, live with the group. And the reason I took this trade and why I took it post CPI is exactly what I've shared with you today. So going back to Euro, this was the example right here of a trade that was the double purge occurring prior to news. So I traded the news event here. Now, obviously, be cautious when you do this because you can get slipped if you're wrong. However, in this example, which I shared with the group, I took it post CPI. So let's get into that. So first things first, clear institutional bullish order flow. So we're going with the higher time frame order flow on USD CAD. Then we're always trading a range, right? So range low to range high here, right? So we're looking for this expansion to occur here. Then higher time frame key level. This is a weekly fair value gap. So this was the higher time frame key level I told you the news is going to trade off of. And here's the CPI news event candle itself. So what do you notice with the candle itself? Right? We have a double purge here. And notice how prior to the news candle, this is the news candle, there wasn't a double purge we could trade off of. Right? So we anticipate the news candle to be the double purge, takes the high of the previous 4 hour, closes within. Then the news candle itself takes the low and closes within. When we had this closure, that's when I started anticipating longs for the group. So here's that double purge in a lower time frame. This is the CPI candle here, this big black candle here. And then we want to see signals, signs of institutional sponsorship defined by SMT displacement, right? So we have that SMT with DXY here. Then that displacement forms with the fair value gap. And this is exactly where I called the longs, right? What was the other component of the news trading? The midnight opening price. So you can see we're below the opening price here for a long. So all the criterias to trade this news event were there. And this is one of the strategies I use. When I see all of these components to this strategy show up, I will usually take the trade as long as we're in alignment with the higher time frame institutional order flow and draw on liquidity. And that's exactly why I was so confident to give this signal out to the Discord group live. And as you can see, we hit a 1, 2, 3 R here. Now, if you guys enjoyed that video and you want to see my other news trading strategies, like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments. And also remember, go and back test this with previous news events, especially the NFPs, CPIs, and FOMCs. And I think you'll see that you've found something incredible here today. All right, take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.